Hey, like he said, he's on a high level of niggatry right now. All right. Ray Vaughn. This boy dropped The Good, the Bad, and the Dollar Menu April 25th. You know, there's another TDE artist. It chronicles his rise from Long Beach to national recognition, blending his personal storytelling with sharp lyricism. Man, the project is amazing. It has it's like a reflective diary tracing his journey from using stolen Wi-Fi to, working with the likes of Pusha T. The title, The Good, the Bad, the Dollar Menu. Um, I wonder if there's something like a little deeper he's doing when it comes to, you know, it's a play on The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. The movie. It was a Western. Um, and yeah, he's from the West, but the Westerns weren't usually like West like that, right? But I think like so it's the good, right? So the highs, the bad, you're talking about the lows, and the ugly. Oh, and I'm sorry, the dollar menu would be represent the struggle. Uh, I don't, I don't know how, I don't know how this is still this. I don't know how this is a mixtape though. This thing is labeled a mixtape. I, I really don't know the difference between some albums and mixtapes. Like I feel like mixtapes was really back in the day very distinguishable, right? You had the DJ come in there, you know what I mean? It's also, Clue would drop a thing like that, you know what I mean? Or DJ drama or something like with like the producer tags would be like heavy. They'll freaking rewind records and stuff like that. So you knew there was mixed, like there was no doubt that they were mixtapes. Even they would even incorporate things like completely just like doing a remix of somebody else's big track that they had going on for a year. You would expect something like a hot song like Nokia, for example. Like somebody drop a mixtape now, they would take the Nokia beat and do their like version of that. Like this was mixtapes was about. So but nowadays some of these mixtapes just sound like regular studio albums, bro. This Ray Vaughn project is so cohesive, is so targeted, and so well produced without any fillers. None of these fillers. I'm like, how is this not just a studio album? But it's a mixtape. It's narrative driven. The production mirrors the project's emotional arcs. It enhances Vaughn's introspective storytelling, which is carefully curated throughout the palette of the sounds that's going on through this whole project. That first track on this joint is called Flockers, right? Flockers, is it called Flockers Remorse, I think? Yeah, Flockers Remorse. It has this mellow piano, some like gospel vocal chops. There's like these vinyl textures to it. And there's no beat. I call it's like a beat tease, because it's like you think any second that beat finna drop, but that dude is just flowing on that joint. And it's like after it ends and you realize the song is over, no beat. And it's like, whoa, he was flowing on that joint. You still had your head, but like no beat. And you still had your neck snapping. So it was somber, reflective tone, and just like, damn, I'm just feeling every bar. So I don't know what to tell you. It's a mixtape. There's no beat on some of these. This thing is cohesive. It's very introspective. How did joint go? What do you say? I got the bills piling up, fridge empty too. For a week straight, chicken noodle soup. Call from my side bitch. She said the baby do. Bucket catching all the rain holes in my roof. Landlord beating down the door, but I ain't got the rent. So every dollar that I earned, I already spent. Yeah, I mean, he is like going through it on this track. There's no beat, there's no distraction. It's like I'm trying to walk you through that struggle, the good, the bad, the dollar menu. There's the thing that I love about especially those bars right there, but for cohesive throughout the entire, continuing throughout the entire album, is that he takes you through the struggle and he sits with it and he doesn't shy away from it. He owns it, and from top to bottom. Now, you might think that like, oh, he's not the first to talk about being broke and but like, no, I think he is. I'm gonna say he is, because a lot of these rappers, they be talking about, when they talk about they broke, they give a bar, they give like one line to it, and then they quickly get back into, but look at me, look at all my chains now, look at all my watches, I'm the bezel, you know what I mean? I'm good now. Like they do not sit in it. They do not sit in that filth like what is it, Linus with the dirty blanket, just like, no, I'm gonna this is how long I was broke, I was poor, I grew up this way, and I'm not like trying to like take the funk, like that shit don't hit me still and sit with me still. Like you could tell this is a person who has lived in poverty and it's part of his identity, and he is coming out of it, and he is not shying away from being like, no, this was a real thing, and I am going to give voice to that. Some people are still living in that struggle, right? So I can see that music really speaking to somebody right now who's still on the EBT, you know, who's still on that unemployment check. Shout out to all the scammers out there trying to get that PPP, you know, because they needed to come up, and hopefully somebody flipped that and they did something good with it. There's another track, a dope, Miles Away from Heaven. Again, this is like sparse arrangements, ambient textures, but the lyrics, they just resonate. It's like the music and production is quality stuff, really great stuff. This is TDE we're talking about, but they just know how to make it match the moment. There's East Chat, another dope track. There's a West Coast bounce on this joint, blends classic West Coast funk with the modern trap elements, grounded in the sound of Long Beach and Vaughn's roots here. There's some layered sampling going on, reverse melodies, there's pitch vocals, and chopped loops. They give the album this texture, a collage of aesthetic that is tied to the overall theme of memory, just living through the memories of this and trauma. So part of the memory of it too is that it's not just he's talking about something that's happened in the past, but he's expressing how this leads to the trauma that he has now in his current state, right? His current self, his present self. It has an effect on him, you know, and he's owning it without like just you know, let me just dip a toe and let y'all know. Let me give y'all a little bit peek behind the curtain and then boom, let me be out. No, I'm good. I'm balling. I'm a baller now. I'm with TDE. Nah, man, this is like I said this last time, and I mean, Mr. Morale, it was really a big time permission structure with Kendrick. You know, I mean, it's hard. How can I talk about TDE and I don't mention Kendrick, right? You know, and granted, Vaughn is standing up on his own on this joint. Let me see. I think what was I looking up here? Let me see. Vaughn is doing a lot of this, like this introspection by himself, but he's got a good amount of collaborators here that understood the assignment. Ashley Young, we got Isaiah Rashad, J Rock, La Russell on here, so Samara Sin, got a couple different features on there. It's a mixtape, so you know it might not cost much for them to jump on this joint, but they understood the assignment. They hopped on and kept the struggle message, they kept the trauma message, and you sat in it and you had no escape from it listening to this entire thing. But there's a survival aspect to all of it, and Vaughn does dabble on that, where he's saying like, yo, this is what it was and I got out of that and you can too. It's really an encouraging album. It's sort of like rainbow, like what was that? How'd that phrase go? You know, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, sort of thing. He's got a track on here that I definitely recommend checking out. It's his version of like Dear Mama, right? Flat Shasta. Shasta is this like an off-brand like soda, right? I know what was it we had over there? We had like Rito? Is it Rito? I think we had Rito back in Miami. I don't remember what it's called, something like that. But Flat Shasta, I guess they got that over there in the West. And this track is it's like Dear Mama, but whereas Tupac was a lot more it was like a love letter more mostly, Dear Mama, you know, like a proud kind of like uplifting kind of thing. This song, Flash Shasta, is talking about his mom. Is like very, it's a tragic story. But again, he's living in the trauma. He's bringing us through that journey. And she has, you know, I don't know if she's still going through this stuff, but he's talking about her going through schizophrenia, you know, substance abuse, and he has a visual for it too. You go to just go check out YouTube, check out the music video for it. And he's just like having like a one-on-one with this character on the other side of the couch, just like pouring out his heart, like, yo, this is what I was a kid going through. Matter of fact, he has visuals for almost every track on here. It's kind of a dope concept. I love that artists are doing this these days, where you don't. He's got some fully produced videos, but a lot of artists are doing these minimalist kind of accompaniments to their art now, where he's not doing a lot. He's got a one camera, and the song's playing in the background. Well, he's playing for us, you know, for the audience, and the visual is just different dollar menu items, and it's just you see just the hands and like the food. So there's got one where it's just like a dollar menu or stuff that you get at the dollar store, right? They got one where he's got like, you know, got the fake cereal, you know, it's like Fruit Loops, whatever, Fruit Loops, the fake cereal and they come in the bag and you pour it in the bowl and that's what they eat, right? So he talking about here sometimes, man, he had sleep for dinner. You ever heard that? Having sleep for dinner? Well, I grew up poor, you know what I mean? I've had a night or two, right? I mean, I ain't have it that bad where it was that often, but there's on occasions where it's like, I sure enough recognized that that one video where it was just the white bread, the regular flat white bread with the hot dog, and just threw some ketchup on there, and that was dinner. And each of y'all get one, right? It's 3 boys in the house, right? Each of y'all get one. That was dinner. And so that was another a menu option that was just like a video and you see that. Or there was another one where he talks about splitting a 6-piece nugget with his kids. Like, this is some broke boy stuff. And it's like, I'm not saying that pejorative. It's like, yo, bro, this is a real life experience that this dude's going through, and he's like letting us in and like not even freaking shying away from it. Just like he's owning it and not pretending like he ain't go through this. Like, people talking about getting out the mud. That's what they say. They say, I got it out the mud. And then they walk away and just leave it as that. He's giving us these details. So I definitely say check out the visuals that accompany this thing. There's just I could speak about every freaking track on here. I love Triple XT. Get to these, get straight to it. Get to these, get straight. I love that chorus on there. He references Skeeter on that bit. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. And that visual is kind of dope too, because it's got a bunch of kids, and their kids are just doing like grown up, like not street dude stuff, but like they're just like they're driving cars and stuff, and they're just like. But it's like when you were young, you're like, oh, that's my car. You have these dreams, these wishes of what is like when you get older. But just like Skilo is like, I wish I was a little bit tall. It's like these dreams of what the possibilities can be. And it's so amazing that even in all these struggles that he's talking about, that he's walking us through, to still be able to dream, to still be able to hope, and you go home, you sleep at night, nothing to eat, and you had sleep for dinner, and you're still able to have like that, and to come out on the other end and be able to be like, yo, I'm in a place now I can just reflect on that and talk about it and put it in my rap and put it on out for the world as art. And a nigga like me go like Darwin on YouTube, I hear talking about and analyzing the joint. Man, these rappers, I sound like a broken record. I keep saying this. Rappers are current age poets. These are poets. Some are a lot better than others. There's a lot of poets that existed throughout history that we don't have in our history books, that we don't know they were out there. they weren't as good enough, or they weren't as commercial enough, I guess, in some cases. So you can't judge rapping and hip hop by the most like bland commercial, you chew it up, you spit it out stuff. There's some poetic stuff happening in hip hop, and it's been happening for a long time. And it's the same poetry except it's to a beat. You gotta listen to what these people are talking about. They're talking about some real stuff, and that's what poetry was about. It's supposed to hit you in this emotional space. And these dudes are leaning into that, and that joint still sound hard. That joint still sound bouncy. That joint still get your head snapping. This freaking man, TDE is on a run. You talking about Doechii, Ab-Soul, SZA, GNX dropped last year. It's crazy. This has to be the whatever Death Row was doing had that run. They've had a longer run than Death Row. TDE's had a way longer run than Death Row. And it's just like, they're not just putting out, they're curating stuff. They're not just putting out a bunch of stuff. Freaking No Limit Records, they had a good run, but they just put out a bunch of stuff, and like some of the stuff just did not hit. I did not like that Snoop album, bro. I did not like. They just put out a bunch of stuff. They just freaking flood the zone. But TDE is curating their shit. They got Vaughn out here with this project that's not even an album, and this joint is better than a lot of people's full studio albums. It's freaking. This should be Grammy nominated. Really? Real talk. I never heard of a mixtape doing that, but then again, I never heard of a freaking diss track being Grammy not winning Grammy. So like, man, subscribe to this channel, because I'm subscribed to TDE and whatever the hell they dropping. So if you want to know about what TDE doing and you don't want to follow them yourselves, I'll take care of it. I'll watch out for it, because it's gonna be all beautiful stuff, and I can't wait for whatever they got coming up next. I can't wait to see what Vaughn has for his whatever full-length, studio album he's got coming up.